All right, let's dive into an idea that kind of messes with our whole concept of being good enough. We're going to uncover the hidden price we pay for thinking we've got it all figured out. And it all kicks off with one pretty tough question.
So let's just start with this. It's a pretty intense question, right? Just let it sit with you for a second. What if that one thing you're most proud of, the thing you hold up as proof that you're a good person, that you're successful, what if that's the very thing blocking your path? To really dig into this, we're going to look at a story. It's about this guy who, by any standard you can think of, was the poster child for good enough. Seriously, this dude had it all figured out.
First off, he was just confident. He walks right up to Jesus with this total self-assurance. He's not shy or uncertain at all. He knows his standing.
And he was moral. This guy had followed all the rules his whole life. He'd lived this super upright life, ticking off every single ethical and religious box you can imagine.
Plus, he was disciplined. And we're not just talking about what he did on the outside. This guy had some serious self-control. Honestly, he's the kind of person we'd all probably admire.
So when you put it all together, from the outside looking in, you just think, wow, this guy is absolutely winning at life. He's got it made, no question. And then he asks his big question. But you got to pay really close attention to how he phrases it. He asks, what must I do? See that? Do. For him, salvation isn't a gift. It's a task. It's just one more achievement to add to his already stacked resume.
So he's basically asking for the final item on his to-do list, right? But what he gets back? Well, it's something else entirely. Jesus hits him with a command that just completely shatters his whole worldview.
Can you even imagine hearing this? You think you have it all, and then you hear the words, one thing you lack. Oof. For a guy like him, that had to be a gut punch. And the command Jesus gives him, it's not something he can just achieve with more discipline. It's a total all-or-nothing deal.
And just like that, the perfect man, the guy who is winning at life, he just turns around and walks away. But get this, he's not mad, he's not arguing, he's grieving. And why he's grieving? Well, that's the whole point of this story. Okay, so this is super important. It's not that he couldn't do it. Come on, a wealthy, disciplined guy, he could figure out the logistics of selling his stuff. No, the problem wasn't his ability. It was his will. He just wouldn't let go. He wouldn't release his grip on the very thing that made him feel successful and secure.
So you have to ask, why that specific command? It wasn't random at all. Think of it like a surgeon's scalpel. It was a precise tool designed to cut right through all the surface-level stuff and get straight to the real issue.
Because you see, this was never actually about his wealth. The money was just the symptom. It was the physical thing he was clinging to as proof that he was good enough. The real issue, the thing that command was targeting, was his heart. A heart that was trusting in his own performance, not in God.
And that's the absolute genius of it, right? This guy was a master manager. He could manage his behavior, his finances, his reputation. He was all about control. So what does Jesus do? He gives him a command that's impossible to manage. You couldn't strategize your way through it. The only way to obey was to just surrender, to completely let go of the controls.
And that brings us right to the heart of the trap. It's the one this man fell into, and let's be honest, it's one a lot of us can fall into too. It's that sneaky, dangerous idea that we can be good enough on our own terms.
There's a term for this. It's called self-justification. And all it really means is the belief that you can measure up to God through your own performance. It's that little voice inside that says, hey, if I just do enough good things, if I'm disciplined enough, I can earn my way. So here's the crazy irony in all of this. The very thing that this man was so proud of, the thing he thought was getting him closer to God, his perfect track record, was the exact reason he walked away. The second you start trusting in your own performance, that's the second you turn your back on grace.
Now, this story isn't just a history lesson about some rich guy from way back when. It's meant to be a mirror. And when we look into it, it forces us to ask ourselves a really uncomfortable question.
What about you? What's the one thing you're using to prove that you're good enough? What's that thing you hold on to, that you point to as your source of pride, your security blanket?
For you, maybe it's your work ethic, your discipline, or your success at work, or the reputation you've built. Maybe it's just that you're a good person. You've always had a solid moral compass. And look, those things aren't bad. But when they become the reason you think you're okay, that's when they become the one thing you can't let go of. Which brings us full circle, right back to the beginning. The story never tells us what happened to that man. And maybe that's on purpose, because in a way, his story isn't finished. It's become our story. And the real question isn't what do I have to do? It's what am I willing to let go of?
What's your one thing?